Hello. Let's talk about my low carb method to banish cravings, especially for women over 50, because it's really hard to get the weight loss when we're still craving all the sugar and all the crap and all the wheat products. Because if we, hi Patty, thanks for joining. If we don't get that under control, then you might as well just throw it out the door, because if you can't get that under control, you're going to have a really hard time and just feel frustrated. And I get it. Been there, done that. And that's why part of my core process of my low carb method, which is a holistic low carb method, so it's not just your standalone, let's go on a dirty low carb diet and get results, because I want you to have permanent weight loss results. And so my program is based on getting you holistic low carb diet dialed in for personalized support, and to get it clean so that your fat in your body that you have is cleaned out. And so you get to lose weight faster and better, and you keep the fat away when you don't have a toxic diet. And so you do want to look at a low fat diet as a toxin free diet. So that means getting the right oil change. That means eating the right type of protein. And that means getting your weight loss dialed in to the point where you are reducing inflammation in your body, so that you can have better weight loss over time. And this natural weight loss process with my holistic low carb diet plan and my process, my program, will get you results, because you are reducing the inflammation in your body, you're reducing insulin resistance in your body, and you're resetting your leptin sensitivity. You're going to have better hormone management. And when we run all 6 labs, we're going to find all your hidden healing opportunities, so that you can, or we can together, get you targeted supplementation to actually address what needs to be addressed without wasting money on supplements that are no good. And so that's part of my program and my process. And what I really like about this is when we banish cravings, then we are empowered to choose the lifestyle that we want to live and make the food shifts that we want to make, because this is not about restrictions. My program lets you eat, and yet I teach you how to eat, when to eat, and why you want to eat specific foods. And so this low carb method that I've been designing for myself and that works for my clients, that I get results from, is based on my lived experience of my whole life, from everything that I've had to go through and everything, all the diets that I had to live through, and that roller coaster ride of gaining weight, losing weight, and what works for weight loss long term is really what you want to focus on. And so that's what I focus on with my low carb method, is to get you permanent weight loss results. And so this is not a diet. This is a low carb method for functional weight loss, is what I like to call it as well. And using 6 diagnostic labs helps us find those hidden healing opportunities and those weight loss blocks, so you can banish the cravings for good. Because when you do it right, when you get the right food in your body, believe it or not, those cravings can turn off. And as easy and as quick as 2 weeks or less. I'm just saying 2 weeks because it's been a while since I've done this, but I definitely know that if I were to overeat something I'm not used to eating, I will probably repeat that in a day and then just be sick of it. Because for example, if I were to have keto ice cream, I tend to eat the whole thing because it sets off my cravings. So I like to turns on the sugar switch. So it'll flip the sugar switch, throw me out of ketosis. I'll eat the whole thing, and I'll want another one the next day. Do you guys ever remember eating C's candy and how one was never enough, and you'd have to, I don't know if you were like me, you would have one and you have to have another, and you go back to the store the next day and oh my gosh, you just have to eat more. And the same with Mrs. Fields cookies. I was addicted to those as well. So I am so grateful to not be addicted to sugar anymore, and to not eat sugar anymore, because I was tired of living like that. And, put it in the comment if you were exhausted with having food and sugar cravings and you want to turn them off, because who wants to live like that? We want to feel good in our body, get rid of that belly fat. Excuse me, I've had took some eucalyptus oil to try to clear my throat a little bit. what we want to do is women over 50 specifically, but men, I've got you too. So I mean, if you're out there and you're trying to get rid of the visceral fat, the belly fat, there's lots of things that we can do as women or as men. But I want to talk to women over 50 specifically because that's been my journey, and I know specifically what works and what doesn't work, and it's a pretty cool process. My pain to passion, my purpose is to let you guys know what it is you need to do, whether you work with me or not. You can kind of follow me and get all this information. I'm putting it out here for free. This is going to go straight to YouTube afterwards. You can always re-listen to it, share it with your friends and family, and just know that we are not helpless as women over 50. We are not helpless. We can be empowered. You just need to know what you need to know, and I know what you need to know. So this is part of my 4 main processes in my program, for my low carb program. And it is a personalized holistic low carb diet because I'm going to work with you weekly, one-on-one, so that you get the information that you need to make this successful. So the reason I have a 6-month program that I tend to work with you for an extra month or 2, depending on the investment that you've put into the program and what I feel you need, because I do have a satisfaction guaranteed. If you haven't lost your minimum amount of weight loss, then you're going to get a satisfaction guarantee. Then I'm going to work with you a little bit longer and we're going to dial this in. Sometimes the mindset takes longer. And so I'm going to be there for you because I'm going to give you my all if you give me your all. And so when you follow my process, you will get results. And if you get on a call with me, I have a great presentation. And this presentation is going to show you 5 of my clients and all their weight loss and all the process that they did to get there. And it's basically talking about, my process, which is going to give you a bulletproof mindset, because I had to develop my own resilience, my strength, my understanding to make this a permanent lifestyle shift. Now, whether you choose to do that or not is always going to be a choice, but I'm going to build that resilience in you and build that bulletproof mindset with you when we work together. Because if you need that support, I've got that for you, because this is how it works. We don't have to ever accept being overweight if we don't want to be. There is a book out there called The Secret Life of Fat. And you just need to know that fat is an endocrine organ. And if you need anything to know, I will do the deep dive. I will do the reading. I've already done the reading for you. I've read 100 books or more. I don't even know how many. I've read them twice. And I've got them on Audible. And if you need a resource, I will send it to you. Like I just sent, my client just texted me. She goes, what was that program you told me about yesterday? Can you send that to me? So I sent her over those 2 YouTube stations to listen to empower her to understand what it is that she's doing so she gets a bulletproof mindset. Because you know what? She's down 15 pounds in less than 2 months, and I want her to know that this is always going to be something she's going to build on top of. And it won't be long before she's down 30 pounds because she's on it. She's developing that mindset. She understands it. She's trusting me 100%, and I'm there for her too every week, and cell phone contact. So that's the other part of this. You get radical accountability. I don't just send you a recorded session. I mean, I could do that in the future. Sorry, and if I have to work with more people and I don't have enough time for the one-on-ones, then I might end up doing that more so. But right now, everything is personalized, and you get a presentation every other week. Just one moment. Part of my problem is I've been eating some dark chocolate. It's one of my food sensitivities. And so, just listening to your body and knowing what it is you need, you can understand what's happening inside your body. So obviously I should be cutting back on that dark chocolate. So that's something I'm thinking about. In the meanwhile, that's why I took some eucalyptus oil to try to get that to clear. And so it's working through it. But yeah, radical accountability. Who would want some radical accountability? And this is because you get that implementation weekly and action steps weekly that you get to build upon. Every week I'm going to ask you what your wins are, what's your action plans, what's going well, what do you need to work on, and what resources do we need to come up with together to get you to feel more empowered, to give you the right information you need to push forward, to get it going, and to understand what you are doing. This is so important, because if you don't understand why you're making these changes, then you may not be successful. And that's not what I want for you out of my program. I would love for you to be able to have the permanent weight loss if that's what you want to have. Now, a permanent weight loss situation is when you get that radical accountability, when you build that bulletproof mindset, when you go through my 6-month program, well, my holistic low carb method for women over 50, because what that's going to design is it's going to give you all the information you need to know about your diet, about your sleep, about movement, about circadian balance. It's also going to be about stress, internal stress, external stress, all the toxins. We need to live a clean lifestyle. And if that sounds overwhelming, that's why you've got me. For 6 to 8 months, you've got me, so that we could dial this in so you can be comfortable in your body and to get the support you need as you do this. And so that part that I really wanted to address today is to banish the cravings. And so this is going to be, almost a little mini workshop on what you can do to banish the cravings. And I am going to have a workshop in a couple of weeks. I still haven't put the exact date up. And it's going to be on the part of my process where we're going to banish the cravings, because you can't really make a lifestyle change or even get those food shifts to work for you if you haven't banished the cravings. And so the first month, when we're dialing in your personalized low carb diet based on your food sensitivities and based on the symptomology you have in your body and based on the other information that we're going to get from all your other labs, then you get a personalized nutrition lifestyle put together for you, and we work on building that around the foods that you like and what you want to eat. This is not about restriction. I eat keto cookies. I'm not pure carnivore, but there are days where I am more carnivore. Like today, I was really good. I had my eggs, I had my beef, and I had a salmon, and I had salmon skin. And then I let myself have a couple pieces of dark chocolate. But I had the kimchi and I had sauerkraut. So that was where I was good. And because that helps my gut health work better. And so if I have good gut health, then I'm going to have better overall neurotransmitters and better immune system. I was talking to somebody who mentioned an autoimmune condition that she had. And I was going over the sales presentation mentioning that that's part of the process of getting your body stronger to reduce the risk of autoimmunity and even reverse the risk of autoimmunity, depending on how well your body can function and where your immune system is, whether it happens in 6 months or longer. But people have been known to reduce the risk of autoimmunity in their diet. Even Dr. Walls, she's got the Walls protocol. She is a medical doctor who had MS, and she has pretty much put that in her MS into remission and doesn't have the symptoms of MS. And I have another story of another woman who used my same process, and she used to have Parkinson's. That's all I'm going to say. She doesn't have Parkinson's today. But if you use the right diet as food as information for your body, then you're going to get the results that you're looking for if this is something that you want to have. I can't say that enough, because you have to be in action. I am in action and ready for you. I can only work with you if you are in action and want to work with me. And so that's not a requirement that you have to pass that to qualify for my program, because if you're not ready, I can't help you. And so that's something to think about. But if you are ready to banish those cravings, get some bulletproof mindset, get that radical accountability, and push through to get that weight loss, I'm your girl. I'm your practitioner, and we will make it happen, because that's all it takes, is that desire to do that and for us to get together and make that commitment together. And so to banish the cravings, this is it. Okay, so basically, you need to eat more protein. I know people tell you that. You've probably heard it. What does it mean? Well, what it means is our bodies are designed to look for the right amount of protein. If we do not get the right amount of protein, you will graze all day long looking for the right amount of protein. And the thing is to build muscle. And muscle is your metabolic currency, your basal metabolic rate. If you do not have muscle, you're going to have a slower metabolism. And the problem with the low-calorie diets, which most people go on, thinking they need to cut the calories, cut the meat, cut the fat, just eat the salads, and then go out, exercise everything you ate, which will cause you to have exhaustion and ruin your hormones, basically, and cause visceral fat, because that does not work. That is stressful. What your body needs is more fat and more protein. And when you get 30 plus grams, between 30 and 50 grams of protein per each meal, twice a day minimally, you're going to get the right amount of protein to have muscle synthesis. And you need to do that all at once within that hour time period. I'm not quite sure the hour. I would think an hour to 2 hour time period to get all the protein that you need. I would shoot for just trying to get it all in all at once. So, I mean, I had 4 eggs this morning, a ground beef patty. Even though it was over 30 grams of protein, it was probably close to 45 grams of protein. So that would be about 25, I mean, one smallish ground beef patty. Normally I would have to eat 2 if I was eating it by itself because it doesn't quite make 30. That and 4 medium eggs is what I had. And so that's up over 35 to 40 grams of protein. And that's enough for me to build muscle. And I wasn't hungry for anything else. I did have lunch around 12:30 because I wanted to be done eating by 1 o'clock. It's basically want to either focus on intermittent fasting and eat 1 meal a day around between 1 and 3 or 12 and 3. Or the other thing that I'm focused on is eating breakfast and then lunch before 1 o'clock. And then I'm completely full. I've had 2 boluses of protein. I have had enough protein. I can have some perfect aminos and get extra amino acids later to extra calorie-free aminos that are going to help me build muscle. That is one of my secret tips or secret weight loss processes that I do with my clients to get them to build more muscle so they can, so their body can lose weight better. Because one of my clients definitely eats plenty of protein at night, but she only eats 1 meal a day. So what we did, I, couldn't convince her to eat twice a day, which I did. I tried to convince her of this, but she didn't. She wasn't going to have it. She's decided she's going to eat 1 meal a day. And when they're 80, I'm going to be pretty persistent about what I want to do when I'm 80. So when you're 80, you get to decide what you want to do. So basically, we decided to bring in the perfect aminos twice a day. Well, she called me up, or she told me, she goes, I'm gaining weight. Well, guess what? She gained muscle and lost fat. And that's the goal. The more we eat the protein, the more we are going to build the muscle so that we can shoot more glucose through our muscle, have a stronger basal metabolic rate, stronger bones, and we are able to be more active. Our brain is more activated, and we have the desire to get out and exercise more, move around more, and we get to lose more fat. There's so many studies out on that. And so don't graze. That's what I want to say. Don't graze. You want to have 3 meals a day, eat your protein, and bring in some good fat. And so if you're well over 300 pounds, you may not need to add in any fat because you got the fat on your body. Eat the protein, cut your carbs under 50, and your body's going to lose the weight. Now, if you have some depression, if you have energy issues, you might need the extra fat. Some people can do okay with less protein, with more protein and less fat, but overall, we actually do better with fat and the protein together because that gives us a more mellow mood and it helps your brain function better. Because believe it or not, we actually need the cholesterol for our brain. If you don't eat the cholesterol, you cannot have your body functioning the way it needs to. If you don't want to have Alzheimer's, you need to eat the fat. If you don't want to be frail and you want muscle and bone, you got to eat the fat and the protein. So this is what we need for longevity. So my whole process is a longevity process. That's why I call it Aging Beautifully and Adventurously, because this is an anti-aging program. And so you want to look at this as an investment for the next 20 years of your life, because there's studies out there that state have shown that people in America can die 20 years younger than people in some other countries just because of the food you're eating. And so when you eat the right food for your body and turn off the inflammation in your body and flip your sugar switch to that, you become a fat burner and become more metabolically active and reset your metabolism. When you can get your insulin resistance lower because of what you're doing, that's when you are able to get the health that you want, rebuild your health, reset your metabolism so that you could get living the way you want to. And then again, so it all comes down to banishing those cravings. When you can banish those cravings, it's easier to focus. I needed bulletproof coffee. And most of my clients need bulletproof coffee. So I start everybody with the MCT oil and some butter or ghee so that you can turn your brain back on, get the energy you're looking for, so that you can focus on making your lifestyle switches, your food switches, so that you can actually shift your food in the direction you need it to go. So you can focus on not being hungry and actually get the weight loss and get those ready wins. If And when that starts to work, then you can use fat as a lever and dial it down and burn your own body fat. So I go back and forth. Like today, I didn't have any MCT oil. I've been doing it less and less. The first couple of years, everybody needs to add in the good fat, and you need to you need an oil change, and we need to purge the inflammatory fats that our cellular system is made of. It's in there, guys. If you're eating out at restaurants and you're getting vegetable oils and somebody told you that canola, soy, safflower, sunflower, grapeseed oil, all of those oils, they're inflammatory. And your cellular system is made up of these. We need to purge them. It takes 2 to 2.5 years to purge those out of your body. If you're eating out at restaurants all the time, you're re-addicting yourself. Not re-addicting, but you're re-establishing those into your cellular system. So that needs to be minimized. And one of the hacks that I do is I order olive oil packets, organic olive oil packets. You can order those, and you could put those in your purse, and you could take them to a restaurant. You could get MCT oil packets in packets as well, and take those to a restaurant. All you got to do is order a chef salad, get avocado, get some Parmesan cheese, and then put your own oil on that. Do not use the restaurant salad dressings. Those are toxic. People think it's because of the fat. It is the wrong fat, and they all have sugar. And so it's not because they have fat, it's the wrong fat. You need to give your body an oil change. When you do that, that's another way to banish the cravings, because you want to get good fat into your body so you're satiated along with the good proteins. Have you ever seen anybody who ate a full steak and had a nice salad with some good fat on it? Would you think they were hungry for dessert afterwards? No, they're completely full. And this is not a plan to do. It's to go out to a restaurant, order the cookie and the ice cream, eat that, and put your steak in a bag to go. You want to eat the steak. And so that's what's going to fill you up and make you feel amazing. I was talking to somebody today on a call, and we were discussing what her goals were, and she wants that Cinderella body. And you know what? I was thinking about that. Lose the 10 to 20 to 30 pounds. Get your confidence back. Feel good in your body. Feel beautiful again. Lose that weight this year and get that Cinderella body you want. You know, you're going to come out. If you take a look at my pictures, I look better now, fully dressed. Maybe not so much so in my garden here, but when I put on a dress and I'm looking my best, I look amazing. I'm like Cinderella. And that's really cool, because my whole life I was overweight, 225 pounds, and I had to make the lifestyle changes. I had to get out of the food addiction, because if you love sugar, it's because you're addicted to it. But you need to look at sugar as poison. One of my clients, she said, after she listened to my Lifestyles Without Sugar presentation that I have recorded, and it is out, I think it's in YouTube, so you could look for it in my YouTube station, Lori Ballou Weight Loss. She said, and that been one of the things that she needed to work on, was to get the sugar out of her diet so she could stop the cravings. And she did it. She did it. And she's like, God, I really believe sugar's the devil. And it is, because I will, and this is something that's interesting that I found fascinating. Like, as much as I consider sugar a toxin to our body and a poison to our body, because it damages our body to the point where we get diabetes and Alzheimer's. So you want to look at it as something that contributes to your overall burden on your toxic load on your body, overall burden in your body that leads to the diseases of lifestyle. Those are all lifestyle diseases. And you get to choose to turn them off, because remember, you have the control to flip your sugar switch and to look at your fat as an endocrine organ. And you have brain power to say, I don't want that, and I'm going to change it. That's what I did. It took me longer because I had to put my low carb method together. I had to go through it. I had to understand it. I had to do all the diets. I had to fail them all. I even did HCG. I did paleo. It did not work until I took all the fruit out of my diet. And fruit doesn't have to go forever. Fruit is not a forever thing on a low carb holistic diet. What fruit does is you want to look at fruit as how much sugar does that fruit have in it. Like, you can have some lemon, you can have some lime, and you could have a few berries, but maybe not necessarily the first month or two, because you want to keep your carbs lower so that you could get those quick wins and start getting that 20 pounds of weight loss. So you can reset your metabolism and reduce your inflammation, turn off the pain in your body, and get living again. This is about living life as an adventurer and having longevity, so that we could get it down on the ground and play with our grandkids, so we could go out on the beach, hold hands with somebody that we love, and just feel amazing. Go for a 12-mile hike. This is one of my favorite things to do. I'm to the point where 5 or 6 miles, that's kind of a short hike can I have a 10? And so when you get to the point where you really want to get out there and be active, that's what's exciting about life. And so I'm not sure if my lighting's good here or not, but because it went dark on my screen. So those are the things we want to think about. We want to figure out what we could do with our diet, get ourselves on a holistic low carb diet. And my method really works to help you banish your cravings, to give you that bulletproof mindset. And I'm going to do that with some radical accountability. Who else is going to give you over 6 hours of personal one-on-one attention in the very first month? I mean, I will give you an hour and a half presentation every other week. Actually, as long as your test results are coming in and I'm giving you results and recommendations, you're getting an hour and a half calls every week until I get this organized for you. And then we go down to hour calls or 30-minute check-in calls. And so it's all customized to what you need and where you are in your program. So just keep that in mind, that you will have radical accountability, and there's cell phone contact within reason. I am not going to be, a couple of cell phone contacts for accountability a day, but not necessarily calling me all day long. If you've got larger questions, then we save those for your weekly accountability calls. But that's my process. I think it's so exciting to be able to have this all set up and ready for you guys. So get on a call with me. Let's get on a presentation. Let's discuss what your goals are for yourself this year and what your health concerns are and what where you want to go for the rest of your life. It's not just this year or even just 6 months from now. Where do you want to be in 5 years? How do you want to be? I mean, look around at the people around you and all the lifestyle diseases that they're having to deal with. And think about it. You know what? Lori said that I don't have to live like that. Lori said that if I get on a low carb diet, I can actually change that. And you can. That's the thing with my program. I can help you collapse the time and get yourself healthier sooner. And then, this is an investment in you. This is your investment in your self-care to work with me. And it is an exchange of energies between us. And I am helping women over 50 get their health back, just as I got my health back. And so this is my pain to purpose process. This is my promise to you that I'm going to be there to help you. And it's my passion. And I live this lifestyle as well. So everything I learn, I'm going to help instill in you and give you the resources you need to dial in the lifestyle that you need to live this year and for the rest of your life. Because that 20-year study where they're showing other people living 20 years longer, we can have that dancing and pain-free. But it is a choice, and it is an investment. But it's an investment in you, and you're always going to be your best investment. And always think about this. Somebody was just telling me the other day who, she goes, yeah, her husband was telling her, it's like money's a resource. We can always make more money, but you cannot get your health back. Your health is your wealth. And so that's just part of the mindset that we all need to develop when we're looking at an investment in ourselves. I know I am worth it. I just picked up 2 more mentorships because I am building this program for you, for my followers, so that I can be strong, so I can be magnetic, so I can be inspiring, so I can be in that convicted state of mind to let you know that you can do this, and I am there. But I also need support, and I need self-care for myself. And I do things specifically for myself and invest in things that I need with the right supplementation, with the right labs, with the right mentors, to be empowered for myself so I can get out there and empower you. And so this is all something that is part of making our world a better world to live in, because, we want to look at, we are creating, if you were here, you're probably interested in it. We are creating a healthier world to live in, a world where functional health and nutrition matters. And this is, for me, it is one woman at a time. But men, I've got you too. Because I've helped my brother he doesn't have diabetes anymore. Take a look at his picture in my, that I have pinned to my bio. Take a look at that picture and think about it. It is not set in stone that we have to live with our genetics. Now the genetics are there, they weaken our body, but how can we get to a stronger point where we don't have to express that DNA? And so that's what I do. And this is part of my program, is I'm going to help you turn off your disease-causing genes in your body, and live a life of health, to rebuild your health, rebuild your metabolism, have stronger bones, have stronger muscles, and let you know what to listen to, what to read, how to think, and to get stronger with that bulletproof mindset. Because you know what? That's what matters. And when you hang with like-minded people, you get their results. And so if you want to be more like me, and that's what I did too. You know, I became a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. I became an adapt health, functional health coach because I needed that in my life to be stronger, to be more resilient, to understand that what I'm doing is also done with other people, and that other people out there have this like-minded desire and choice to do these things. And so when we are out there looking around at the people we're with, look around and see who you're with. Are they going to help you in your lifestyle, or are they going to pull you down? People don't necessarily go out of their way to pull you down consciously, but just hanging with them, you know, can bring you down. And that can be a problem. Every time I go to a holiday party, my brother and I, we bring the food we want to eat. We eat the same. We empower each other. We empower my sister. And we are getting healthy together because this is about empowering each other and supporting each other because we're a like-minded tribe. And so when you hang with like-minded individuals, you become stronger too. And so the more you binge watch, listen to my reels, and share them with other people, let's get other people stronger and healthier too. We can all do this together. And this is part of my holistic low-carb method for women over 50. When we dial this in, we are badass. We're strong. We can do anything we set our mind to. You just need to know that your fat is an endocrine organ, and that is your hormonal process. And all you have to do is eat the right food as information to your body to control your hormones and get the right gut bacteria, and eat the right food for your bacteria, heal and seal your gut so you don't have to worry about autoimmunity. Because if your gut's leaky, you're going to have more problems. But we can fix all of that as best we can with the food as information for your body, and getting a right oil change and turning off those cravings so that you take back control of your body. That's what it comes down to, because you got to think about the bad bacteria in your gut. If you've got candida, if you've got Firmicutes bacteria who are hungry for the sugar and you're feeding them all the time, they want you to eat more of the same foods to feed them, and they're going to crave them. So that's part of the cravings that you need to banish. You need to banish the bad bacteria. Turn off the fat bacteria process and start bringing in a skinny bacteria process. And so that's what we want to do. We want to feed the skinny bacteria. So that butter, that MCT oil, that olive oil with the polyphenols, that good nutritional food, when we get prebiotic foods, when we get that sauerkraut, refrigerated sauerkraut and kimchi, we're giving information to our bacteria. We're giving food to feed our bacteria, who's going to give us short-chain fatty acids, help us heal the liver, get those ketones, get our brains turned back on, and create neurotransmitters. This neurotransmitters are deficient in our body when we don't have the right bacteria, when we don't have the right hormones, when we have too much stress, when we're not outside grounding. Now, I've got bare feet on the ground. Let me put two of them on the ground. I have my legs crossed. I have both feet on the ground. I'm out here grounding so I can be energized for you. And I decided to do this call at 1:30 instead of 2 so I could take off my shirt, get down into my sports bra, get outside and garden so that I can keep activated, and that's going to be my exercise for today. So you could do a low-carb diet, but you have to have the lifestyle factors. So Functional Diagnostic Nutrition by Reed Davis, what we focus on is DRESS. That's diet, rest, which is sleep, exercise, which I also put in movement, because I don't believe you need to have extreme exercise. You need to have the right exercise per your hormone test and per your stress levels. And so sometimes in the beginning, it's always just going to be, what movement can you get? And the right movement with the right diet is going to give you strong bones and strong muscles so that you can have longevity. Those are what we're going to dial in together. So stress matters. When I was working at a retail position, there was just too much indoor light and not enough outdoor light for my specific body. And the more I felt stressed about that, and the more I needed to get outside, I couldn't lose the weight. I lost the last 30 pounds because I no longer was inside under bright lights. I was outside grounding. I was touching the earth. I was getting sun on my skin. That, in line with a holistic low carb diet, is part of the process because we have to turn off the stress. We need to reduce our toxic load in our buckets. If that doesn't happen, then we're going to have more trouble. And that's a stressor on the body, and it's going to cause you to hold on to fat. And so I'm always going to address with my client, how are you holding on to fat, and what's causing you to hold on to the fat? What do you need for your body? What are the times that you need to eat? Do you need more fat or less fat? And do you need more protein or less protein? How does your body need to work for you to heal your body, to reset your metabolism, to get to the point where you're getting the natural weight loss? And sometimes, and so it's getting rid of those interferences. Like if you're not going to sleep till after midnight, you're not going to get the weight loss that you want. You're going to be holding on to it. That was the other factor with one of my clients. If they don't get to sleep, if they don't have the right hormone balance, then you're going to have more trouble with the weight loss. So there's lots of things that I'm going to do. So that is why this is an investment in your health. But let's get on a call. I am going to post this session today, this video, and then I'm going to put it in stories and put in a link there. If you want to get on a call, just click that link and let's schedule it and get you some information on what your goals are for this year. Because what if you could be Cinderella by Christmas? Get out and pull out a dress out of the closet, or get out there and buy a new dress. Maybe somebody will give you one like they gave me. But get out there and feel beautiful, because you know what? We have a lot of living to do. We have a life to live. We have adventures to have. And we get to choose to do that. But we also have to choose to have better health to get there, to turn off the pain of inflammation, to reset our insulin levels, and to reset our metabolism so that we can be strong and healthy in the second half of our life. All of that is important, and I'm going to be here for you. So just keep in mind that to banish those cravings, we want to eat more protein and fat. And so it's all about eating them at the same time, not grazing throughout the day. So you want to have only 3 meals a day and stop the snacking. That's the first thing you want to do to banish the cravings. And then no liquid sugars. Go down to fruit only. Get your carbs at least under 100 to banish those cravings. And so as long as you have wheat in your diet, you will have your ghrelin, your gremlin in your gut. That ghrelin hormone, just look at it as a gremlin. It's in there telling you to eat more food. As long as you're eating wheat, you will have that gremlin turned on. So to turn off those cravings, you have to get rid of the wheat. And so it doesn't matter whether it's a good quality wheat or even the bad quality wheat. That's not good at all, because it's going to raise your ghrelin hormone, hunger hormone. And so we want to turn that off, and we want to reset your leptin sensitivity hormone, which is your hunger satiation hormone. So when you get those two hormones managed, then you're able to banish the cravings more. So it's not just eat protein and fat, it's let's get the cravings under control by managing your food quality. And so when you're looking for food bridges, like replacing your bread, the bread that you eat in your diet, if you love bread, make it keto bread, but it has to be gluten-free all the way. Make it gluten-free. Okay, guys, that's it. And I hope this was helpful. Once I set it up, just leave a comment. And if you like this, share it with somebody else. And I will have also posted to YouTube by the end of this day. Talk to you soon. Bye.